Sorry about that, my nose goes.
Okay. Divine Spirit and gracious Creator, we're all here to open ourselves up unconditionally to your divine assistance and continued direction. As well as receiving your healing and guidance, we are fully open and ready to receive and notice signs and blessings. We are truly grateful and thank you. Amen. Please settle your minds and focus on your crown chakra. And when you are ready, open it for Spirit to supply you with its source of energy. As it enters your crown chakra, allow it to rebalance all your chakras, starting with the crown chakra, moving on to the brow chakra, down to the throat chakra, onto the heart chakra, working its way down to the solar plexus chakra, further down to the sacral chakra, and down to the root chakra. Allow the spirit energy source to visit all your minor chakras to maximize our potential in this circle. Let the energy settle in your body, and when you are ready, move your focus back to your heart chakra and start linking with all other members of this circle unconditionally. Set your intentions on the task we agreed, please, to maximize our ability to make the links to the spirit that we need to achieve. We've come together on the earth plane with the purpose of receiving answers to our questions from our spirit guides and advisors that are happy to link with us. I would like to start by introducing members of our circle. My name is Neil, and with me today is Pam, Adrian, Sarah, Rosie, Claire, Laura, Claire, and Donna. I would like to welcome all members of the Spirit Circle and thank you for believing in us. As we try to lift our energy level sufficiently to enable you to bridge and make contact through our mediums, we are focusing and offering you the opportunity to link through us. Please link directly through your choice of medium. And if you're happy to link through another medium at the same time as another soul from Spirit does, please do so. Where possible, we would respectfully appreciate confirmation that we have achieved a successful link through either a sense of doing so or even more grateful to hear the spoken word itself. As we try to lift our energy levels in our own circle, with the help of our own guides and others in spirit, we look forward to making the connection to the spirit circle. When we have achieved that, could you confirm when you are ready for questions to be put to you, please? Good evening. Welcome to our circle. Are you still blending?
Thank you.
Have you been to our circle before?
No.
What called you here tonight?
The energy.
What do you like about the energy?
High frequency.
Have you been briefed about our circle? Is there a name you'd like to go by tonight?
The name is Solomon.
A warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Are you happy to answer some questions?
I'll just watch tonight.
Okay. Welcome. Welcome to you as well.
Good evening.
Good evening. Have you been to us before?
Yes, I have. It's lovely to join you again.
Could you remind me who you are, please? Or the name you'd like to go by tonight?
My name is David.
Hello, David. And when you are ready, are you happy to answer some of our questions, David?
Yes, I would love to.
Okay.
I was very
Have you-
surprised to come in.
Why would that have been?
I am always ready. But the extra energies you have this evening with you, or with us, I should say.
Yeah.
He was just juggling around to see who would be best suited
Okay.
and for the energy that is here. It is nice to see our friend Solomon has joined us this evening.
Yeah, Solomon, I believe, just wants to observe tonight. So
Yes.
Hello, I'm back. I'm sorry, I was a bit late coming in tonight. I see our friend Solomon, he just wants to watch tonight. Is that okay, Neil?
of course it is. It's your call. It's not our call.
He was a bit demanding, I told you, so I said you can come and watch then, because
All
obviously
right.
it's his first time. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just like members of our circle, isn't it? Some of them have just come to watch. So
Absolutely. Well, I just thought I'd pop in as I do sometimes.
okay, Thos, it's nice to see you, hear you anyway.
I will see you in a bit. We'll see you in a
Okay,
bit.
thank you.
Thank you.
So, David, is it okay if I start some questions?
Yes, of course.
And I take it you're used to my questions, my random questions.
Yes.
Okay. Let's work into them then. Okay. Can anything live on a star or in it?
There is two answers to this question, Neil. As a star, from a distance, is a planet that its light is so bright it is burning up.
Yeah.
So this is not possible at the point you see the star. But before the star gets to that point, yes, life can live on what was the planet before it.
The reason I asked that question is obviously rumor has it that Sirius is the home planet for a previous race. Was that true? Is it true? But I think Sirius is a star. That's what made me ask it. So
It was the center for a very long time.
okay. But you said it was, so does that mean it is not now?
It is as a star now, but before, it was one of the few first beginning planets
Okay, thank you.
for life. Now it is seen as a beacon.
Yeah. Is it used as a beacon to forward energy in our universe?
You are very knowledgeable on this, Neil. Yes, it is.
I don't know it all. I just pick up certain things that get me curious. That's how I get my questions.
Yes, it is used. Stars are, everything has its purpose
Yeah.
and everything has its time. And stars are there to guide and provide the energy around the universe.
Okay.
It is like your street lights
Yeah.
that you have to show the way.
I
To show
suppose
the
that.
way,
Yeah.
and to map, to guide us.
I suppose that's where the interpretation it became a beacon came, really, because beacons show you something, don't they? Don't always know what, but okay, thank you for that. Change a different subject now. Is genuine love and compassion on the rise in human vessels? And I suppose linked to that, are our higher selves winning the battle against the human soul? Or is it in decline, conversely?
Yes, the love and compassion is increasing. People look at each other differently. You communicate with each other differently. But as times evolve and humans evolve, your relationships are changing with one another. They're not as they once were. The structures that was made in early religion are starting to break down. So life is going back to more of the early times where people loved one another for what they were or who they are, and was not put into boxes or segmented.
So there's a suggestion from that answer that religions took us backward.
Yes.
Okay. Maybe they were right at the time, because they brought a bit of
It brought
routine.
structure and
Yeah.
order.
Yep. Which was probably needed in terms of development. So I'm very pleased to hear you say that. Thank you.
And with the higher self, it is not that it necessarily is a battle, but people are more in tune with themselves now.
Yeah.
And they have more sense what's around them.
Yeah.
So, yes, the higher self is winning, but it is a combined effort.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe battle was the wrong word I used, but
it doesn't matter. It is a good word. It's
I use
a simple word.
Yeah, I use it as a
Easy.
challenge because it makes people think.
It made me think on how to answer it, Neil.
Okay. Here we go. Deep questions, eh? Okay. Within your circle in spirit, what's the main reason for members of the spirit circle tonight of why they want to return for another life on the earth plane, or is the majority decision they would prefer not to?
Oh, I wouldn't say a majority wouldn't want to. but they're for those that prefer to stay on, we'll say Earth,
Yeah.
they will come and go and just take a vacation and be probably encouraged to learn more from and take heed of what they've learned over their lives.
Yeah.
But they will be the type that will come backwards and forwards a lot.
Okay.
Others tend to have may have lived a lot of lives a long time ago, and they might get, you might say, stuck in their ways. So do not always necessarily wish to return. Or they find their calling, where they've lived their lives in physical form and now wish to just guide or teach. But it is these that have very valuable knowledge, even though they have not been on the earth for several centuries.
Yeah.
And are being encouraged to return, to bring up balance.
Could argue the balance is badly needed because of the, let's say, mental situations that life in its present form on Earth delivers.
Yes. This
No,
is because they used to live in a very different way.
Yeah.
Where there was less material items and things.
Yeah.
And more about taking control of yourself and those around you and enjoying what you've got around you as best you can.
Yeah.
The world has become a very small place for a human compared to what it once was.
Yeah, so I've been told through these, question and answer sessions. Yeah. I mean, at one point, I would have questioned why any spirit would want to come back at the moment with all the, what I call trials and tribulations.
But as you know, Neil, we love to learn. And at the moment, there is some tough challenges and tough lives going on. And for us to progress, we need to rejoin.
Okay, I can accept that, yeah.
And not just go on what once was.
Yeah. Because, I suspect it's a complete, as I would say, a different set of worms, conditions, totally different scenarios.
Yes.
Maybe you've got the solutions, but I think sometimes you have to experience it to understand it fully.
Yes, there is a big debate at the moment.
Okay, good.
With the elders and guides.
Careful what you say, please. We can't say too much.
Well, we won't tell them, although they're here. But you mentioned elders. Is there such a thing as a council of elders in spirit?
Ethos, would you like to answer this?
Yes, there is. Yes, we do have what you call on counsellors. Yes, because we have troubled souls that come through.
Yeah.
So obviously they do need to be looked after before they can move on.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I can't say no more than that.
No, I understand enough from that with other questions I've asked previously. Thank you for that. Okay.
Thanks, David, for putting my foot in there.
Well, you can't blame David. You blame my question, can't you?
Oh, your questions.
We have to let the boss sometimes answer the questions.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've learned that one as well. Okay.
There's no flies on me or ethos.
Here we go.
And don't we know it?
I'll have to change. We'll have to make another joke and get another one, bring another one in. Okay. Here you go. Will human societies of the future, not in my lifetime, I don't believe, ever be totally managed by machines?
No, because what would be the point in life? A machine is not life. Even if you try to put organic matter into it, there'd be no point in it.
And we'll get lazy.
Yeah, but maybe it would be worthwhile if souls could consider the machine a vessel.
I don't think that would happen, actually, Neil, no.
Okay. I'm pleased to hear that, but I'm just jumping from one side to the other because I do that.
It'd be, yeah, how do you explain this, David? It'd be worth manpower.
Yeah.
When machinery can do so much, but then you still need manpower. And if there's no manpower and just machinery, what happens when that machinery breaks down and we forgot how to use manpower?
Yeah, good point.
But
Does
also
that
the senses would disappear.
Yeah. Okay. I like that one.
There'd be no appreciation for the air, the birds,
Absolutely.
the trees,
Yes.
the earth.
Nature.
This is when the planet would die if this was ever to happen.
Okay, that's a good argument. Yeah. So are you suggesting that humanoid robots won't be developed either, or will they be developed just as an aid, physical aid?
If you think about it, Neil, it's being developed now. Robots are.
Yeah.
They are doing things now. You have people. I was told the other day that there's Hoovers that are robots, where we don't push; they actually move on their own.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen those. I haven't got one, but I've seen those. Yeah.
So obviously they have moved on, where before you had manpower. So if this happens all the time, Neil, manpower will soon die off, and then we will not know as years go by, and our children become children, and our children become children. They'll only totally depend on robots. Does that make sense? So
in a way it does, because you could say with all the advances in technology, it has taken over so many people's lives throughout the world, throughout all nations.
Absolutely. But we still need, I don't know what David thinks, but I still think we need manpower to go through life. I don't think they should.
Sorry, Ethos.
I don't think we should. I don't think it should be independent on machinery, because if it does break down, well, and you haven't got the manpower, how man is going to carry on? But that's just me knowing what I know, and I've seen quite a lot.
I suppose, like everything, it depends how the machines are managed by the humans, if that makes sense.
Yes, but you're saying if humans don't need to do manpower and they just totally rely on the machinery to do it. Is that right? Is that what you was getting at?
Yeah, I suppose it suggests there are arguments to say if they have machines to carry out certain physical things that humans have to do, it will release time for humans to focus on other more meaningful things.
Just
But
get
I
it to
don't
the
know.
full.
I don't know. I know there is. That's what I mean. It's all right releasing people from doing those things physically, but what are they going to do to replace their
Exactly.
focus? So I don't see, I've never been able to work out where the crossover is.
Don't think there will be, Neil. I think Mum will always use machinery to keep going.
Yeah.
I don't think the Earth will be run by robots.
Thank you. In terms of the human race, some argue, who will save the human race from its self-destruction, or does it have to decline to redevelop and evolve?
Just say that again, Neil. I didn't understand all that.
Yeah. Some people argue that the human race is, because of its attitudes and the whole way it's living, it's aiming for its self-destruction. But do we have to go through that to evolve? Or why do we have to go through that to evolve?
I don't think there's a wrong or right answer on this one. Do you think, David?
It is a difficult answer
Yes.
without saying too much, but the humans will save themselves. This will be sooner rather than later.
Good. Good.
There will not be a decline like in some of the storybooks that have been written.
Yep.
And if I am wrong in saying this, we will also prevent this. In spirit.
That's heartwarming to hear. Thank you. I mean, sometimes when humans are being very negative, they're their worst enemy. You know, I like to think I'm a positive person, so I don't tend to focus on the negatives. So, but I know I'm lucky. Okay, I'll change tack now. So we had a situation in the media recently, but in a birth, when twins are expected, when a couple are having babies and the twins expected, one child survived the birth and the other didn't make it. How would you suggest the parents cope with their joint happiness in one breath and sadness at the same time?
There is an understanding why that child passed first to make the other one survive.
Okay.
Sometimes when they are twins, one will be weaker than the other in the mother's sac, depending if there was the sac together or there's two sacs. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if it's one sac, two for both of them, one will get more nourishment than the other. And if that's the case, unfortunately, sometimes it will go on to the next life.
Yeah.
Now, if the two sacs, one's one and one's the other, it could be that the sac with the baby that passed, the mother could have developed a
Complication.
Complications, but there is another word, and I'm trying to find it because it's really difficult. Baby, obviously, as you know, baby is very wiggly inside. It could have punctured the sac, or the mother could have got an infection, and that could have not helped. Unfortunately, when these happen, 9 out of 10 baby don't survive, but let the other one.
Yeah.
Does that answer quite a bit?
In a way, I can you're explaining it clinically, but what I was really asking is for the parents involved. It's dealing with it's dealing with the emotion.
I see. Okay, so obviously they will be quite. They're expecting 2 babies.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, sometimes I think we'll say this doesn't happen, and yes, they have to have mixed emotions, that they're going to be happy because they have a baby, but they're going to be sad because their brother or sister did not survive. Yes, it's going to be difficult for that parent to carry on as if to say, well, we should have 2. I'm hoping that they would have counselling or help or talks, but they're strong enough and their understanding of what happened clinically would make them help them to be stronger and just go through and look after their brother or sister. This is a difficult question, a difficult one, because obviously not being the parent, it's really hard if you're not being through that kind of thing.
Yeah, agreed.
But obviously if you was a parent, excuse me, of one child, of losing a child, it is very difficult to try and move on. But because you do have the twin, you can move on in certain ways. But just remember the other baby.
Yeah.
The way you can. That life's for living. Yes, life is for living. And you should grab it while you can and just move forward. Okay. Even though you do have a baby in spirit, that spirit will not ever be a baby. It will grow and grow and grow.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
But yes, it's difficult for a parent to understand. I'm up here with David, and I'm sure David doesn't understand as well. I don't understand how you can get on. It's difficult.
I mean, it's the same as just losing any child, but it's slightly different because you've got one that's with you and you're very happy about it. You experience probably a form of guilt because the other one isn't with you, because you're happy about the first, the one that's alive. So it's quite complex. It's quite a learning curve.
Yes, it is.
For parents, that's what I would say.
Yes, it is. But if they have the backup of the doctors and whoever is dealing with their loss, it helps them to understand, I think, then more, and then be able to move on.
Yeah, I agree with that, because I think the explanation you gave about why it could happen, if that was explained to someone, you can suddenly, for whatever reason, understand the reason.
We have a lot of babies that come through, and some are like this as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for that. It was a good balance. Thank you. Hopefully that will help some people who find themselves in that situation.
That's okay.
Sometimes with twins, that one was only ever meant to live the life. The other was there to support it and not necessarily live that full life to be born.
Yeah, so you mean to support it in the womb?
In the womb, the sibling was there to support that child.
So in that scenario, are you suggesting was part of that life plan for that particular soul?
For the soul that lives, the baby that lives,
yes. Okay, thank you.
This would
Yeah.
not be in all cases, as obviously with the human vessels.
Agreed.
The complications can happen, but in some cases, because of the life of the twin that will live, it needed some help at the beginning.
Okay.
So it had a baby partner, a
Yeah.
guide in its own way to be born,
Okay.
to live that life to the full.
So is that similar in some ways that in some people's lives that even if a birth occurred, sometimes why some souls pass at a very young age because they've come to actually establish another on its own pathway? Would that be
Yes.
similar?
To support and guide it to that point in its life.
Good. Okay.
There is a saying, Neil.
Yeah.
Babies or any human, they come for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. But also they have to go. There's a reason why they have to go
Yeah.
at the time.
Yeah.
You know? It's life. how life is.
No, I accept that because, as you know, I've experienced that in my own family. So, and that's the way I cope with it. I didn't know the reason at the time, but I've learned to understand that there is a reason.
But sometimes you don't need to know that reason at that time.
No, I agree. I agree fully.
You just need to understand that it happened, but then when you dealt with the loss, once you've got over that hurdle, then you'll be able to understand why they passed.
Yeah.
And then that's when it's the healing process, Neil, and also the grieving process. It's very, very complicated at times because you go through all these emotions, and it is. I've seen it so many times, you know, and I'm very, very maternal in that way. I am.
Okay.
It is a strong subject with me.
Yeah, I agree. As I said, I'm fortunate because I can put things that, even if I haven't got the answers, to one side and say, right, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to leave that, and I'll find that out either later in life or when I return home to spirit. But not everyone can do that. Not everybody can do that mentally.
Exactly. I do believe Nikki has been through a similar thing as well.
She has. Yeah, she has. Yeah.
And she's quite open. I've seen her. I've watched her. She's quite open with her life, with everything she has gone through. She's a very, I want to say, a very amazing young lady, actually.
Yeah, I agree. All that she's dealt with and had to deal with and everything else. I couldn't agree with you more. Okay, different question, which I've been asked to raise. Can spirit explain or give insight into why many people are finding their mediumship slightly harder at the moment, and what causes the fluctuations and how easy it is to connect to spirit? You know, that was obviously a scenario that this individual was asking me.
David, do you want to go first?
Yes.
I thought you might.
This is nothing to be worried about. There is no specific reason for the energies to be changed for the worse. Energies change, people change, but also change is needed. This is to help those that can connect with us to tune in differently and move along their path. It is only a slight change, and they should talk to themselves and just go with it. If they feel that they're not connecting properly, or they're not hearing things in the same way, is to not be put off by this. They just need to realize that changes are afoot and everything will get back, but will be different. They will grow. We have to work with everybody in different ways. And some we leave alone, and some we see greater things in them. So we push them a little bit, but sometimes they have the self-doubt and feel they are losing this, and they are not. But also they need to look after themselves and make sure they get nourishment and rest.
Can I add on to that? Is that okay?
Yes?
Okay, thank you. That's really good. Also, it's really hard being a medium and also having a normal life. If you have a normal life and your life is a little bit chaotic at the moment, us up here will leave you alone until everything is calm and relaxed again. So you haven't got the extra worry about the spirit people wanting to come down, their spirit guide wanting to help. They are helping by helping to just smooth around a bit, but this will take time. And also they need to believe in themselves a little bit more. I believe the belief they have, they don't truly believe that they can actually connect with us. And this is a big thing when people are learning. They have to believe, they have to let go. And sometimes that is very difficult to do.
Okay. Now, going on from that, you're suggesting it's basically a mindset. And would that suggest that at times people, mediums, overthink the connection?
It is a very difficult. Just excuse me for a minute. Okay. They need to believe that it is self-belief.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, they need to trust. It is the trust and the self-belief they haven't got. Even though they sometimes, when they're in a circle and the energies are all built up and they will bounce off the energies, and that's how they do their readings when you're learning. Does that make sense, Neil?
Yeah.
Can you understand that? Okay.
It does to me. It does to me,
okay.
Yeah.
But when you're on your own and you're individually reading for somebody, obviously you have your guides, depending where you are in your journey. You'll always have your one main guide that's always been with you.
Yeah.
However, when you're on a journey, you will pick up different guides all the time, depending where you are on your life journey and where you are in your mediumship. This could be the change, the switch over, okay, as well. So it just means that us up here need to help, need to sort a little bit of adjustment out. It's like radio, if you like. It's like a radio wave as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So they have to be patient, but they can do self-love. It's self-love as well, knowing how to protect themselves as well. I do believe this person needs to protect themselves even more. But they are on the self. They're on the right track. They just need to believe in themselves more. And I don't think they do believe in themselves, and they are very inquisitive, and they're wanting to know more. They're wanting to learn more, but they sorry, they are rushing themselves too much. They need to take 2 steps back. They
Yeah.
need to just slow down a little bit more.
So is that like suggesting, we have a saying, you've got to walk before you run?
Or crawl before you can walk.
Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah. Point
You need to
made.
you need to go slow. Well,
Okay.
because this is nothing to you can't play at this, because
No.
you are touching people's lives and their hearts,
Yeah, I agree.
and you just have to slow it down a little bit more. Sorry, I am very at the moment.
Yeah.
I would also add in that if they're feeling that their connection is not so strong as once was, then they panic. Then they put pressure on themselves.
I was just
And
about
then
to say this. Yes.
it doesn't work. So to take the steps back and imagine you was a few weeks or months ago before it started, to look at what's different in that period, what's happened. Is it you? Is something externally happening? And just relax. It will come back.
It will never go away. But also, the person may be going through personal problems as well.
Okay.
And if they are going through personal problems, spirit will take a step back. So just so they can just concentrate. I said this earlier, just in case they can just concentrate on themselves.
Yeah.
It is self-healing as well.
I've often heard it said from mediums in our circles that they're adjusting to different ways of working because they feel spirit want them to work that way. Do you actually go out of your way to cause that?
Ooh. Do you want me to answer that? David, you can answer that.
We personally, we do not. But yes, when we can see the potential, we adjust.
Okay.
It won't be a big change. It will be a very slight,
Yeah.
but it will help them to
They
get.
all describe it as a subtle change, and it can throw them initially. It can throw their confidence initially.
Yes, it is a subtle change that can
Yeah.
throw those off, that they feel it is a disconnection, which it is not.
Yeah.
It is for you to stand back and look at what you've achieved so far.
Yeah.
And we are now happy, and we'd like to move you forward.
That's a good way of putting it, because I think when people hear that, they might look at themselves a little bit differently. Thank you. Okay, here we go.
Oh gosh.
This is not heavy, this one. Cats purr, dogs lick. What do you see humans doing when they're happy? I don't like that laugh.
That's the answer, Neil. It's laughing.
Oh, I'll let you in on that one, didn't I? Okay.
There's so much that you do as humans that makes noises. That's made me a bit tearful. Yes, laughter. There's a good old saying, laugh and the whole world laughs with you.
Yeah.
cry, and you'll cry alone.
Well, that's so true. So true.
So you just keep on laughing.
We try to, don't we? Okay. Why is it so easy for us humans to get so disillusioned at times? You know, 1 minute we're okay, and the next minute we're just seeing all the negatives.
They put too much strain on themselves. Expectations are too high. They high their expectations. And when they're not met, that's when they feel like they've failed in themselves.
Okay.
If your expectations not low, because obviously you don't want to lower your expectations, but if you put it a reasonable goal is reachable, and you touch that goal, then you can just move the goalpost just a little bit more to reach the next level. Does that make sense?
Yep, does to me.
Okay.
And people are too concerned with comparing themselves against others.
Yes.
Yeah, you've often told us that one. Yeah. Yeah, I've told, and I think it's true.
But jealousy,
Yeah.
jealousy can play a massive part in being down. There's so much. There's so much can make you down. Money, success, jobs. There's all these kind of things that kind of drag you down. Being negative about something that you shouldn't be can also drag you down as well.
Okay, completely changed again. Is there any hidden reason as to why so many humans enjoy watching horror films? They actually get entertained by it, but why?
Base instincts that no longer exist.
Okay.
What you see now is horror, was once a reality. Maybe not in the extreme as some of the stories that have been written.
Yeah.
But it is the same DNA strand, but within the brain, like all animals have.
Yeah.
The domesticated dog or cat will still have that baseline within it, and you will see it occasionally.
Yeah, which we do. Yeah.
So for the horror stories and films, this is a release, and people find this scary and they enjoy this to be scared, and others, it is their way of enjoying what they see, but without having to live it in reality.
Yeah, I get that. I understand that. So it's filling a need without you having to experience it physically.
Yes.
Okay. Like everything else, there's extremes, aren't there? Some things go too far, but okay.
Neil, sorry, I'm going to have to go. I'm getting a bit low.
Okay, lovely to talk to you again. Ethos, keep looking after us.
Yes. No, night. Take care.
Yeah,
See
and
you
you.
soon, Ethos.
Safe
See you
journey.
soon. See you soon.
Is it okay to carry on, David, for a bit more?
Yes, I am okay at the moment.
Okay, good. I'll leave you tell me when, but anyway. Okay. Historically, did the Spanish kill off the Aztec civilization, or was it by rats and diseases? I read that somewhere recently. It could be one or the other.
All of the above, Neil. All of the above.
Okay. All right. Got you out of that one, didn't it? Okay.
It wasn't meant to be answered like that, but
No,
yes,
but
it was a
I can see it makes
combination of
sense. I
all of those things.
Yeah, I can see it makes sense. Yeah, a bit of both, really. That's what it's saying. Okay.
It was also to do with the advancement of the Spanish as well,
Okay.
and the greed, and not looking at it as seeing it as a new civilization that they could learn from.
Yeah.
They just wanted their treasures. But what they didn't realize was the treasure was with how they lived their lives.
Yeah, and looking back, there were probably a lot of things that they knew that would have been passed on to future generations that
Yes.
we still don't know. That's
That is
my
a
own
massive
opinion.
treasure that will
That's
never get found.
That's what I mean. It's been lost forever. Okay. But leading on from that then, we've had situations where civilizations disappear. Do they actually have to disappear for us to move forward?
No, they do not have to disappear. But sometimes that civilization as a whole has reached its goal.
Okay.
So it then makes way for another. This is usually the case where, not like with the Spanish took over the South Americas,
Yeah.
but when civilizations seemingly die out with no outside force, shall we say.
Yeah. Okay. I think it's previously been suggested that in some situations, previous civilizations have actually left the Earth, maybe to go back to their original home planet or to explore. Is that true as well?
I would agree with that answer you have there, Neil, yes.
Okay. Thank you. Who approves changes to divine laws? Because it was suggested previously that sometimes you do make amendments to them, but who actually approves them?
I do not know this, other than, as in your cases, you would say, those are to the top.
Okay.
But it usually filters in when we are at one with another. And certain things now, when we look at it, before the change happens, it will run around us and becomes debate. I'm trying to think of you might find this maybe when somebody puts something in your newspapers, your news.
Yeah.
And then suddenly everybody's talking about certain things. And then a while later, things start to change with those laws. It is similar for us. I think they filter down a thought before action is taken to see the response.
Yeah. So they're testing opinion in a way. Yeah. I mean, it's like we understand that obviously the human vessel or the human personality has to take its own decisions, and spirit can't take control of certain situations. So, but how long is the spirit going to allow the threats to life from the action of a small minority, like in the war that's going on at the moment? You know, I know you're helping, I know you're doing as much as you can, and you're very involved with trying to heal and help and all that issue of it, but isn't there ever going to be a situation where you can say enough's enough and take unique action to remove a threat?
This does happen, but just when you're living this life, it can take longer than you wish.
Okay.
But when these things happen, we try to let humans stand together
Okay.
to sort it out. But when this looks like it is not happening, is when it steps up from our
Okay.
side.
Okay. You know, that's what I've been assuming. So, but I also believe we've got to try and help ourselves as well by, as you say, standing up. So,
Try and stand together.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Is yeah, sorry.
The majority should always overcome the minority in these cases.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. And if we, there is an argument that says if we choose not to, we get what we deserve, then, don't we? In a roundabout way.
Yes, in a roundabout way, without the deserving, but yes, you will reap the repercussions.
Yeah.
When the wrong
okay,
action is or no action is taken.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Different tact again. Is colonization of Mars within humans' grasp? Is it closer than we think?
Yes, it is. Maybe not in the form that you think, but it is you're a lot further ahead than most people realize.
Yeah, okay. I sense that. I don't know why I sense it, but I sense that. Okay.
As much as exploration is good, sometimes they need to take charge of their home before they start exploring outside.
Yeah, okay, that's a good point as well. Okay. David, when you were last on Earth, what was your life like? You know, and what time period did you live in?
I had a very happy life. I enjoyed my family and my children. I enjoyed my work. My time period that I was last on Earth. Would have been your 1800s.
Okay.
And I was living in Jerusalem at this time.
Okay. Was there a lot of activity there at that time?
Yes, there was. But there had been lots of conflict prior to this. This actually was quite a quiet period
Okay.
from before and since in this area. In the grand scheme of things, in my life, it was quite quiet. There wasn't a great deal of conflict.
What nationality were you then, David?
I was Jewish.
Okay. And were you living in harmony with the Arabs at the time?
Yes, I did. I had many friends.
Good.
I was a believer that any man it can be a friend, no matter of what religion. I tried not to let this come by. I had my views. I kept my views to myself.
Was it a minority view at the time, David?
To the outside world, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But to those of us in our group, no. There was many more of us than there was believed to be.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Did you-
say a good evening to you if you do not mind.
No, thank you, David. Thank you for staying for as long as you have. It's been wonderful to talk to you.
And I thank all those that have joined us this evening.
Yeah,
That
thank
are
you for that.
joining and giving the energy. It has been a different energy this evening. Very peaceful.
Good. Thank you.
My advice to you all, if I may, before I go,
Please do.
is believe in yourselves and enjoy the moment that you are in. And I will leave our love with you.
And we send ours with you as well. And have a safe journey back.
Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Goodbye for now.
Good evening again.
Hello. Is that Solomon?
Yes. I wanted to tell you I'm from Egypt. My job was to carry important people
Okay.
and holding the wooden poles. They would sit in the middle. Like your cars. But people, we were the wheels. we lived with fear, we could always be replaced. It was dangerous times. We could not sleep peacefully. I wanted to tell you, I had two sons, Abraham and Ishmael. They were strong and tall and became soldiers, fighters. There are many slaves, and their fear was much greater. We all could be replaced, but they sometimes just disappeared. Like I said, times were not peaceful. Life was hard. Living on the nerves. It's not like that for you nowadays. Mostly, for the most part, life is more comfortable, but stress has come in other ways. The technology has made you a slave as well, just a different century.
Thank you for sharing that. It's a really good analogy and comparison.
You're welcome. I think I'll go to and say good night.
And I'll say good night to you and thank you for spending time with us, Solomon.
Thank you. See you soon.
We send our blessings with you to take back to the Spirit Circle, please.
Mm.
Time now for us to finish today's question and answer session. We would like to thank Spirit for being here to guide us and working directly with us. That includes our personal guides and for the additional advisors that have joined us here today to give us the benefit of their wisdom. Thank you for your continued support, which we all fully appreciate and value. We do look forward to linking up again with you next time. Before we close the link, we hope you don't mind us spending a few minutes of our time exploring our personal direct links with Spirit. 2 to 3 minutes, everyone, until I call you back into the room. Time now to refocus on your crown chakras, please. And as and when you have, close it down to break your link with Spirit. Move any residual energy you don't need down from your crown chakra to your brow chakra, onto your throat chakra, then to your heart chakra, further down to your solar plexus chakra and onto your sacral chakra, and then down to your root chakra. Allow this surplus energy to move down through your legs and body to your feet and ground yourself on Mother Earth, please. When you are sufficiently grounded and in your own time, gently and slowly bring your attention back into the room.